What we are going to do today is to make hummingbird nectar. And I used to think that hummingbird nectar was like this thing from Europe or heaven and it was expensive, but no, it is just made with regular sugar from granulated sugar from your local grocery store and hot water. So you take, it's 1 cup of sugar to 2 cups of water. Now what I do is I put 1 cup of sugar, 1 cup of hot water, I let that melt, and then I put in the 2nd cup of cold water into this pitcher, and this is going to be the final thing. We're going to fill this up with 1 cup of sugar. Now this sugar I've already opened, so that's what we got here. Let me put the hot water on that right now. So 1 cup sugar, 1 cup hot water, and stir. And you're basically turning this into a sugar water that you can drink, that you can put in your coffees, and you really don't add dye or anything extra. Don't add orange juice, anything else sweet. Just sugar and water is all they need, because you can hurt them if you add other things. It can make their tongues sticky, and if you use things that aren't meant for hummingbirds, it has turned into your nice little sugar water, which again, you can drink. And then I'm going to add 1 cup of cold water. I use tap water. I don't make it cold in the fridge, which you can to make this be able to put into your hummingbird feeders quicker. Here it is. This is the nectar. Now, I always do this. Taste it, and I make sure that it's nice and sweet for them. And I don't take a lot because I don't like a lot of sugar. They're gonna love it. They will love it. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna let this cool for just a little bit, and then we will put it in the feeders. Well, no wonder there was no one in this one. There's just a little tiny bit left in each of these. So I'm going to clean them out and just freshen them up and fill them up with more sugar. Oh, poor little babies. They rely on these things, especially with the, okay, let me give you a briefing. Every year, the hummingbirds fly from the United States to South America, over to Costa Rica and places like that. And we went over there and saw some of them. And I'm like, I wonder if these are some of ours last winter. But they're there. They're here from maybe like April through September. And then they fly over there. And then they're over there for September, October, November, December, January, February. About another 6 months, half the year. So they're back and forth. So they have to be fed, and I thought they always came here in May, but they get here in April. We had one here this year at the beginning of April. I think they always, to me, this is me, I'm not a hummingbird expert, like knowing, watching them. I think they migrate down to Texas, and they leave from a town in Texas, and then they go over through the ocean, they fly over the ocean. How they can do this, I don't know. It's just beyond my mind, because they are the most uniquest birds. But they feed every 15 minutes, and I will watch. Some of them will sit on the limb and just look out at our feeder to make sure it's there, because they need to know where their food source is coming from. And at the beginning of spring, sometimes we don't have flowers for them to drink, like from the cannon lilies or the jasmines. They're not bloomed yet. Right now they're getting ready to bloom, so they have that natural flower. So they rely, that one that came in early relied on the food that I put out there, which I'm sure they'll find it somewhere. God will take care of them. But it felt good knowing that I was able to help him a little bit in his journeys from here and there. But I'm going to clean these out, and we will continue. Well, speaking of them needing their thing, while I was cleaning this out, that hummingbird that was there, he came back and looked in the window and watching what I was doing. They're very smart, and they watch their food. So I'm going to get this out as soon as possible. This water, with me putting it hot and then that cold, it's not really, it's very room-ish temperature. So I feel good with putting this. I always do it this way. Just pour it in here. I don't wait too long. I don't put it in the fridge because it's going to sit out there. It's like 80 degrees out today. And it'll be back hot again anyways. Trying to split this equally between the two feeders. We have a hot water dispenser, and so I usually run this. I've already done this once, but I'm going to do it again just to make sure there's no sticky residue left on there. These are so easy to use. Just give it a good spin. And make sure it's on really tight, because when you flip it, you don't want any coming out the sides as much as possible. And you want it as tight as possible because you don't want bees. Bees can, they keep the hummingbirds away. They're not very kind to the hummingbirds. So you don't want bees. Alright, so that one is ready to go. And voila, we have 2 hummingbird feeders ready to go. I don't fill them all the way up because I find that they will use this up at about exactly 1 to 2 weeks, and then I will make fresh because I have tasted it when it went over, just because I wanted to see what they were tasting. Oh, it just tastes like you've left your juice in the refrigerator too long. It just has that yucky taste, and you don't want them drinking that. If you don't want to drink it, they don't need to be drinking it. So anyways, outside with hummingbird feeders. Well, if you notice, see that thing on the top of it? There's the hummingbird feeder, and then that little thing on the top. That is a water basin. It catches rainwater and it keeps out the ants. So there you have it, 2 hummingbird feeders up. We'll see how long it takes for them to get out there and see that there's fresh sugar water. They're going to be so happy. And God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Like and subscribe because I do post videos occasionally. Well, it's been a lot lately, but we shall see just whenever thoughts come up. And have fun with the hummingbirds. They're free. Or a thing of sugar water in a $10 hummingbird feeder you can get probably somewhere. $1.50, $2 for sugar watered from your house, and voila, you will have a free pet that stays outside and you don't have to do anything with other than watch and enjoy. Love you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.